Helper. I'm Simon Whitehead. Hello. As well as this, I also do Boot Camp and HyperWM, and I have signed a few people up for HyperWM, so if you're interested, do come up and get you in. School Admissions Helper is based on the issue that every year parents have to make a decision about the school they want to get their child into. And the resources that we provide for them have been digitised to the extent that the booklet that we used to send out to them physically, we now make available as a PDF. Kind of exaggerate, but we're not doing a lot more than that. So I come from a point of view of wanting to work with and around open data. I have a bit of a critique of open data. A lot of it is nice, it's pretty, it doesn't actually lead to people doing anything with it. And Jason's looking at me and thinking, I've got one that's an exception, and he's right. But a lot of the stuff is just, it's nice, it's showing things. So what I think that the Schools Admission Helper does is it takes a decision that people have to make, it applies open data to it, and it leads them to a position where they're better able to make that decision. So, we've already done some work on data. We've got some out of Birmingham, which is where I'm from. And so this presents you with some information about one of the schools in Birmingham. It shows you postcodes where the children are coming from, separates them by gender, and I have pulled this one out because it's especially interesting that there are twice as many boys in this year than there are girls. In fact, sorry, 3 times as many in this one nearly. Some basic information that's come from the DFE site, and then the plotting of where the children are coming from, and this is the intake for one particular year. We wouldn't look to be so specific in locating home addresses for pupils in the future. But yeah, what becomes fairly obvious reasons. So having found out something about your local schools, then do you have an opportunity of getting your child into them? So we've taken, this is Coventry related data, so it enables somebody to add their home postcode into there and see which schools. This just shows the schools that's selected by distance and which ones they fall within. There are some additional things that are specific to Coventry, such as catchment areas, such as the Catholic and the one CB secondary school. But essentially, at a glance, it enables somebody to take a look and see which of the schools that I have a decent chance of getting my child into. To follow on from that, you might pick a number of schools. We allow people to choose, we think up to about 4 or 5 options, and then compare schools against different criteria. We need some more work to be done around that on what the criteria people will want. Would we let somebody turn around and say, here's all the 80 different criteria there are, choose the 5 or 6 that are important to you. Sustainability is pretty cheap in order to do. It's only done annually, so we're only looking at the annual round rather than in-year admissions at this point in time. From a sustainability point of view, then customer insight, that sort of activity within councils, we think that the sort of analysis we're already doing that we're showing out to parents is actually valuable for people who sit within research, within scrutiny, for people who sit within admissions and appeals and need to explain the issues to their senior management team. We think that there are values in that. We're not particularly interested in working directly with parents. We're interested in working with support organisations who work with parents who find it more difficult to understand and navigate the system. So that's an area that we're exploring. What do we want? We wanted today and yesterday, so thank you very much. It's been really, really useful. Anne was really helpful. She gave us the parents' point of view and added some new ideas on top of consolidating some ones we'd already had. Juliet was fantastic and is going to give me some of the data and commentary context that I'm asking for under here. Mohammed was fantastic as well. And what I do, we'd like some time with some Coventry staff, because we know that the way that you deal with admissions is different to Birmingham, and it will help us to learn about this process and more, and we're interested in the pointers to funding that Future Gov talked about. That's it.
Masterful.
spent most of that on the phone.
Good.